Today we will show another adaptive shock absorber. This time, we will talk about a front shock absorber from the Kia Stinger GT. As you probably know, the Stinger is considered a premium model in the KIA lineup. That is why it is equipped with adaptive suspension. The unpleasant part is that this shock absorber comes from a warranty vehicle, yet it already has issues and produces a very loud knocking noise. Unfortunately, as far as we understand, the warranty does not cover it, so the vehicle owner is looking for a solution and assistance from us. We can see that the shock absorber was manufactured in 2022. This is the external solenoid that changes the stiffness. We will show you how it works. What is interesting in this case is that the shock absorber also has an electronic module connected to the solenoid. We have seen this only on BMW F-Series models such as F10, F01, and F15. In other words, BMW models that use a so-called satellite electronic control module attached to each shock absorber. Whether it knocks and why it knocks, we will find out once we put it on the test bench and examine its operating curve. After that, we will open it and show you what is inside. Interestingly, there is no visible oil leakage or oil residue on the shock absorber, yet the complaint is strong knocking noise. We start the initial dynamometer test to see how the shock absorber operates. As mentioned, we can also see its manufacturing date here. It is relatively new. The working diagram should be symmetrical. However, under slightly higher load it is no longer symmetrical, and we can see something like a dead zone. This is a test in the maximum stiffness setting, sport mode. This is the stiffest operating state of the shock absorber. This break here is the main problem. We can see that, for example, between -2 mm and about +5 mm of displacement, there is 0 kg of resistance. Now we will open it, show it to you, and fix it. Here is the shock absorber opened and disassembled. This is the main body. It is a triple tube shock absorber. We have shown similar systems from KYB, Monroe, and ZF. One tube, second tube, third tube. Through this port, the solenoid valve can change or bypass the oil flow, which makes the shock absorber stiffer or softer. What are its main problems? It turned out that there is insufficient oil inside. The shock absorber was probably cleaned before being sent to us, which is why we did not see oil residue. However, the oil level inside was low. The oil seal is worn and damaged. When we perform a repair, we install our upgraded oil seal with a double lip and higher quality rubber. This seal will last much longer and will not leak. In addition, we had a seized lower valve, which also caused the observed behavior. I forgot to show you the guide as well. This is the guide, which contains a bushing that wears out. This is how the guide moves with the bushing.
Този водач и се движи.
Above it is the oil seal.
Това нещо, когато се износи, също.
After our intervention, the shock absorber becomes serviceable and rebuildable.
Стават разглобяем и обслужваем.
This is one of the major advantages of our repair.
Акценти на нашия ремонт, защото след като
If it comes back to us after 4, 5, or even 10 years, any future repair will be extremely affordable, cost-effective, and eco-friendly.
изгоден и екологичен.
We reassemble everything with the new guide, new oil seals, and new oil, and then put it on the test bench.
И ще го сложим на стенд, за да ви покажем работа.
We will check its working curve and prove that after our repair, all adaptive functions operate perfectly. We perform a dynamometer test on the shock absorber after the repair. The oil, valves, and guides have been replaced, and the unit has been properly bled.
Клапани, водачи, обезвъздушен и отремонтиран както си му реда.
We observe the working curve under maximum load, that is, in sport mode.
При максимално натоварване или на режим спорт.
The graph now has nothing in common with the previous one. There is perfectly consistent resistance right from the ends.
Консистентно съпротивление има още от краищата.
We can clearly see the resistance during bound and rebound.
Сгъване и разгъване. Пускаме ръчен тест.
We run a manual test to show you the following. Here is the graph.
Кажа следното. Ето е графиката. Виждаме.
This is the resistance during bound and rebound. The moment we apply electrical current to the solenoid valve, we can see the shock absorber's reaction.
Какво ще се случи с съпротивлението? Стана в пъти по-мек.
It becomes much softer.
Сега ще го втвърдим леко.
Now we stiffen it slightly. Soft, stiff.
Твърд. Е така.
That's all from us. Follow our channel for more interesting videos about various adaptive shock absorbers and see you next time.
Адаптивни амортисьори и до нови срещи!